One of my favourite summer trees is the beautiful Frangipani, which grows pretty much everywhere on the mainland in Australia. Its flowers are the epitome of tropical paradise, and yet they tend to cost dearly when it comes to buying them as small plants. The reality is they're easy to grow. In fact, you can grow them from cutting, well, it's dead simple, but you can also transplant them, even if they're a mature tree. This is over 40 years old, and it comes from a place about 30 kilometres away from my house. We dug it out a couple of years ago and transplanted it, and look at it. It's taken off. It's going absolutely ballistic. Growing this tree from a cutting is the best way to go, but the way you grow your cuttings is more than a little different. For a start, when you do cut them off, the cuttings need to be left to dry, ideally for a couple of days. Now, you'd never do that with any other type of plant. The cuttings can be up to 2 metres long, easily, and unlike most cuttings, you don't need a special propagation mixture to get them growing. Just a good free-draining soil. Ideally coarse sand, although it's not absolutely necessary, and the odds are your efforts are going to be successful anyway. Now, these cuttings are going to drop roots within just a few weeks, and you'll be amazed how much growth they put on through the summer months. About June, they go dormant, and then next summer, they'll really start to take off, and that's the time to transplant them out the pot and set them up as their own trees. Now, if you've got cuttings that are slightly bigger than this, then you want to stake them. You don't want them to move around in the pot at all. If you didn't know, the Frangipani is a very good water-wise plant when mature. The biggest complaint I get about them is that they don't produce enough flowers, and this is usually because they're too well looked after. And the trick with Frangies is not watering them too much, just 1 drink a week, and don't feed them unless you want them to put on lots of growth. Now, if you live in a cooler climate and you want to grow one of these beautiful trees, one of the best ways to do it is to set it up on a north-facing aspect, ideally up against a wall. You'll find that the heat through the winter months is enough to keep them going. Now, if you do have these trees and you do want to get a great result out of them, having them in a position that is open to full sun is absolutely critical. But boy, oh boy, what a stunner. I tell you what, every garden should have one.